All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We're here for another game of Strat-O-Matic baseball. I got my hearing aids adjusted today. I'm still trying to get used to the way it sounds to me, so it's going to be a little weird. Anyway, we've got the Philadelphia Phillies at the St. Louis Cardinals. Second of a 4-game series. The Cardinals won the opener. Bob Buell, the right-hander, on the mound for the Phillies. Al Jackson, the lefty, for St. Louis. Hello there, Ben. Yeah, I was wondering about you missing the Tiger game. Hi, Mike. Hi, Ernest. Throwing some darts. All right. Let me focus in here. That looks pretty good. Excuse me. All right. Let's get to the pitcher's stats. Buell. Bob Buell, 4-2, 4.33. This is his 7th start. He has 1 complete game. The lefty, Al Jackson. 2-4, 4.79. This is his 9th start. He has two complete games, including 1 shutout. Hey there, Mangler. Hello, Unmitigated. I got the Duo Light combo again today, so you'll have to let me know how it looks to you. I'm trying to focus my eyes in. Hang on here. I'm going to make some adjustments. Yeah, I like that today. Here's the lineup for the Phillies. Cookie Rojas leads off in center field. Dick Groat at third base. Johnny Callison in right field. Dick Allen in left field in the cleanup spot. You know, I was thinking about Allen and the 5E20 in left. It really hasn't hurt the Phillies from what I can remember. I think maybe one time it did. Bill White at first base, the Gold Glover batting 5th. Tony Taylor at second. Bob Uecker will do the catching again against the left-hander. Bobby Wine is at shortstop, and Buell, the pitcher, hitting 9th. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Yeah, I hear that. I don't know why they could put Jackie Brandt in center or Tony Gonzalez. Maybe Gonzalez had issues. Doug Clemens hasn't been in the lineup either. But of course, I'm just using the lineups from Baseball Reference, so I have no idea what was actually, any physical conditions that might have been keeping some of these guys out of the lineup. Hello, David Thayer. Welcome. Oh, that's funny, but in a sad way, Ben. I'll tell you, I've been single for a long time. And other than Costco trips, I can't remember spending anywhere close to $100 at a time at the grocery store. But I like to make small trips. I suppose if I did it all at once, it would easily be more than that. Okay, let's see. Let's get you the umpires. We'll get started. Chris Pelakudis behind the plate. Bob Engel at first. Frank Sikori is at second with Ken Burkhardt at third. Pelakudis, a name I always enjoy. And Jackson's ready to go. So let's get the game underway. Cookie Rojas will lead it off, hitting .248. 3 home runs, 20 RBIs. Jackson with the windup. Pitches a 3-8 left-handed. He hits it to center field. Flood on the run and hauls it in. Boy, I tell you what, with these hearing aids adjusted, these dice are really sibilant when they hit that tray. I'm going to turn down the high end a couple notches. Here's Dick Grote now. Grote at .213. 1 homer, 23 RBIs. The pitch from Al Jackson. Here we go. It's a 2-7 left-handed. Base hit up the middle for Grote. So Grote aboard with a 1-out single. No threat to run. Let's check the battery anyway. We find Jackson with a -2 hold. And McCarver with a -1 arm. So that's a -3 battery today. Johnny Callison, the batter. Callison at .282, 7 home runs, 36 RBIs. Left-on-left matchup for Jackson. From the stretch, it's a 1-2, and he draws the walk. First and second one out, and up comes the fearsome Dick Allen. Just look at that card against left-handers. Allen hitting .369, 15 home runs, 39 RBIs. Jackson checks the runners, the windup and the pitch. That's a 1-9 lefty. Grounder to short. Maxville has it to Javier for 1 to first, double play. So right in his awesome ones column. Home run city, basically. Allen grounds into the 6-4-3 double play, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left for the Phillies. And after half, it's Philadelphia 0, St. Louis coming to bat. You know what? I'm going to take these things out for the game. I have to get used to them first. This rattle off of the tray is extremely loud to me. Do you guys find that to be the case? See, it's a big difference with the hearing aids out. I feel like I'm in a dead room now. How about Euchre for the beer batter? Why not? Here's Buell, and here's the St. Louis lineup. Miller Lite today, huh? Because he was in the commercials? Video a little fuzzy. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it kind of does at that, now that you mention it. Hang on a second. I'm going to clean the lenses. The phone did fall down under my seat in the car today, so that might be what's causing the problem. Maybe I got smudged on the lens smudged a little bit there. Every time I sit down to the game lately, I have all this crud in my lungs. Okay. Is that better? It looks better to me. St. Louis lineup, here we go. Lou Brock leads it off in left field. Phil Gagliano at third base. Kurt Flood in center field hits third. Tito Francona is the first baseman. Tim McCarver will do the catching. Mike Shannon is in right. Julian Javier at second, and Dal Maxville at short, rounded out with the pitcher Jackson hitting ninth. Buell, the right-hander, just 6 for starter endurance, as Lou Brock steps to the plate. Brock hitting .263, 6 home runs, 27 RBIs. The 6 home runs still leads the team. Who would have guessed that? Over a third of the way through the season, Lou Brock is leading the team in home runs. That causes me to want to look at how many he hit. He hit 15 that year. But still. Of course, Cepeda has only 2. That's kind of a shock. Anyway, here's Brock facing Buell. The right-hander into the windup. Pitch to Brock on a 4-6 lefty, and he walks him. Not a good idea, Mr. Buell. Brock leading the major leagues with 28 stolen bases. Buell is 0 hold. Euchre a +1 arm, so Brock 20 held on at 18. Phil Gagliano is the batter. Gagliano hitting just .245, no homers, 12 RBIs. Brock, of course, rolling for the lead, 2 through 7. On a 6, he's got it. 1 to 18, here he goes. McCarver's throw. He's a dead duck. What a throw by McCarver. Excuse me. I'm trying to clear it out. So Brock thrown out for the 8th time, 28-8 now in the stolen base department. And here's the next pitch to Gagliano. It's a 2-8 right-handed. Grounder to short, fielded by Maxville. He goes to first for the out, and there's 2 down. I'm sorry, to Wine, rather. Phillies pitching now, Steve. Hey, you got the coffee grinder. What a throw by Euchre. Does he get anything for that? Since he's the beer batter, maybe he should get a beer for being the beer thrower. I like it, Ben. Kurt Flood's the hitter with 2 down, 295 average, 4 homers, 21 RBIs. Pitch from Buell's a 3-7. Comebacker, Buell has it. Takes a couple steps and tosses it to White, and that'll end the inning. So no runs, no hits, nobody left. And we are scoreless after an inning. That's true. Yeah, there was no Miller Lite yet. Wasn't that the first light beer? Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was. Phillies batting in the second. Bill White will lead it off. White, 276 average, 11 home runs, 51 RBIs. Here's the pitch from Al Jackson. It's a 4-7 left-handed. Ground ball to second. Javier gobbles it up and throws to Francona. 1 down. And here's the second baseman, Tony Taylor. Taylor hitting just .190, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs. Pitch from Jackson on a 6-2 is high fly ball to center. Flood ranges over and puts it away. Flood, as usual, displaying his exceptional range in center field. And here's the man of the hour, Bob Euchre. Euchre hitting .291 on the season now with 5 home runs, 18 RBIs. Jackson gets the sign. The pitch on a 5-6, grounder down to third. Gagliano gloves it across to Francona, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jackson. Still scoreless, we go to the bottom of the second. Here's Bob Buell. Tito Francona will start it off. Francona hitting just 190 in 63 at-bats. He does have a pair of home runs, 5 RBIs. Buell's pitch to the lefty. 3-12 righty, and he hits him. Rolling for it now. He'll take his base. So Francona hit by a pitched ball to lead off the inning. And the batter is the catcher, Tim McCarver. McCarver leading the club in hitting at .332, 3 home runs, 26 RBIs. Buell with the pitch. That's going to be a 4-7. Grounder to short. Single to 8. That is fielded there by Wine. He goes to Taylor for 1, and that's all they'll get. 6-4, the fielder's choice. Francona erased, and McCarver at first, where he'll have to be held. +1 battery, 16, held on at 14. Mike Shannon is the batter. Shannon at .258, 4 home runs, 13 RBIs. McCarver's going to try for that lead. 4 through 6, he's out on a 12. 6, he's got it. There goes McCarver to 14. Euchre's throw down, he's nailed. Bob Euchre saying, "Don't run on me today, fellas. I'm feeling good behind the plate." Two down, nobody on now for Shannon. I'm trying it again with the hearing aids because I'm supposed to. I'm trying to follow doctor's orders here, but it's making it kind of weird. All right, here's Buell's pitch to Shannon. 4-10 is a high pop fly to shallow left. Dick Allen comes on, waiting on it, and puts it away. Scoreless through 2. Look at the arm on that Euchre. And hello there, Richard. If you haven't noticed by now, I put the rest of Richard's photos up under my posts section of my page. Hello, Denny. Yes, I've heard that. And I apologize for that. I'm not getting paid for them. But I don't know how to make it stop. That's out of my control. It seems get in touch with YouTube somehow. I don't know what else to suggest. I'm certainly not doing it. I can promise you that. It was my understanding, reading the rules, that you have to have 1,000 subscribers to have ads placed, and I'm far from that. In any case, welcome to the chat, Denny. Is this your first time in the chat? Moving to the third, Bobby Wine will lead it off. Wine, 227, no home runs. The left-hander winds and deals. That's a 1-9 lefty. Liner right at Javier. One down, and here's Buell. Buell, a right-handed hitter. Pitch from Al Jackson is a 2-7 swung on and missed, strike 3. First strikeout for Jackson, and it's the opposing pitcher. 2 down, here's Cookie 0 for 1. Pitch to Rojas on a 3-9 comebacker. Jackson gloves it, throws it to Francona, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Al Jackson. Just one hit in the game so far. Grote's single with 1 out in the first, and it's scoreless. Has anybody else seen what Denny has seen? Although most of you guys watch the live broadcast, so may not be much help, huh? Yes, I'll bet they were, Ernest. That's funny. How many remember Foster Brooks? I do. As Buell takes the mound for the bottom of the third, he'll face the bottom third of the order. Julian Javier to lead things off. Javier hitting just 187. No, he leads the club in home runs with 7. I'm mistaken about Brock. Brock has 6. Javier with 7 homers leads the team. So who should be hitting more home runs on this team? Nobody, I guess. Javier had 7 in real life. He already has 7. The pitch from Buell. 4-10 righty. High pop fly to shallow left. Dick Allen coming on, and he makes the catch. Well, I appreciate that, Denny. Do you mind me asking what you do working at night? I used to work the graveyard shift in the supermarkets for, 18 plus years. Yes, The Tonight Show. Here's Dal Maxville. 26 for 83 now, maintaining a .313 batting average for the light-hitting shortstop. Buell's pitch on a 1-5. He walks him, pitching carefully to Maxville, tongue-in-cheek. Maxville no threat to steal. Jackson, a left-handed hitter. He is a B bunter. They'll pull it in on him, and he lays it down as a C. On a 9C, he bunts it to the catcher, who throws to second for the force. A little dribbler in front of the plate. Euchre able to nip the lead man, and again Euchre showing off his arm. Hello, Bob Merrow. So Euchre defensively, so far the story of the game. And here's Brock. Modest lead for Jackson. The pitch now to Brock is a 5-8 lefty, swung on and missed, strike 3. First strikeout for Buell, and that ends the third inning. No runs, no hits, 1 left. And we're scoreless through 3. And welcome to Blaine. My pleasure, Richard. Thank you for sharing. As always, fellas, I asked Richard's permission before posting the photos. Oh, cool. So you're on the road. That sounds like it might be an interesting job. I always liked driving. Hello, Dr. D. Welcome in. Good crowd on hand, especially for a Monday. Yeah, after I retired from grocery, I drove for Lyft for a while. I enjoyed that. Bear with me, I try to clean up my vocal cords a little bit. I should have done some singing in the shower before this game, obviously. Here's Grode. He has the only hit in this game so far as we start off the 4th inning. No, they didn't, Ben. I drove with them before they made the changes. I have heard a couple of guys complaining about it since then. That would have been after the new year 2023. So I don't know what they're like now, but I have no complaints. I mean, I didn't make a lot of money, but it was just to, to supplement my Social Security and meager grocery pension. Jackson, the left-hander, looking in for the sign. The pitch to Grode is a 4-10 righty. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Second strikeout for Al Jackson. And there is Franklin Long. I mean, I'll put it this way, Ben. I wouldn't want to count on that to make a full-time living. But for a part-time side gig, where else can you literally make your hours as you go along? I mean, you can literally, I could sign on right now. I still have the app. I could go out and do one ride and sign off and go home. Or I could work 4 hours or whatever. You could pause it. I'd pause my incoming rides to stop for coffee. You couldn't ask for more flexible. Man, I got 2 frogs in my throat today. Well, congratulations, Bob Merrow. That's exciting. Don't worry, Ben. It'll be there. Don't listen to the panic artists. Johnny Callison walked his first time lefty-lefty matchup for Jackson. Here comes the pitch. It's a 6-7 liner to second, single to 4. It's going to be speared by a leaping Javier. Holy cow, he takes a base hit away from Callison. And with 2 down, it'll be up to Dick Allen. Well, it factors in, Ben. I mean, once you take all that stuff out, you're basically making minimum wage. That's why I say I wouldn't want to count on it to make a living. But for a side gig, it's easy money. Jackson in the windup. The pitch to Dick Allen is a 2-7. Struck him out. Third strikeout for Jackson. 1-2-3 go the Phillies. Nothing but goose eggs so far. The original Sticks is here. 82, yeah, that's the one I'm doing in Windows, Sticks. God darn, man. May have to get used to it, I don't know. I've got a guy coming in to look at my treadmill. There's something wrong with it. Bottom of the fourth, Phil Gagliano to start it off. Bear with me here. My apologies, guys. I seem to be a bit scatterbrained today. Okay, here's Gagliano. Grounded to short his first time up. The pitch from Buell is going to be a 3-6 right-handed. Struck him out. Second strikeout for Buell. The batter will be Curt Flood. Buell into the windup. Pitch to Flood's a 6-2, a high pop fly to left field. Dick Allen again will make the catch. 3 putouts for Allen, and he hasn't had to put much effort into any of them. And here's Francona. Francona was hit by a pitch his first time up. Buell staring in. 3-11, ground ball second base. Tony Taylor to White. And it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Buell. So Buell's sailing along, as is Jackson, and we're scoreless through 4. Yes, sir, unmitigated. Just another day for Bob Gibson. Oh, 68 too. Yeah, was that some kind of year or what? That's a record I don't think will ever be broken, the 1.12. Bill White will lead off the 5th inning in a scoreless duel. Jackson gets the sign, the windup, the pitch to White's a 4-11 left-handed. That's a high fly ball to deep right field. Shannon back at the track, at the wall. It's gone. Home run, Bill White. And the Phillies are on the board first today. Let's take another look at that one. 4-11-15. He does have the power. And for White, that's his 12th home run of the season. Tony Taylor steps to the plate. Jackson rubbing up a new ball. Gets the sign from McCarver. Pitch to Taylor on a 3-6. Pops him up left side. Maxville will take it. 1 away. Definitely. Here's Euchre, 0 for 1. All of his contributions have come on defense so far this game. Jackson comes in with a 1-6. High fly ball to straightaway center. Flood barely has to move for this one. And there's 2 away. Here's Bobby Wine, the shortstop. Jackson into the windup. It's 2-2 lefty. Comebacker. Jackson to Francona. And that'll do it. But a run on the Bill White homer gives the Phillies a 1-0 lead as we're halfway home. Buell ready to go to work here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Tim McCarver will lead it off. Buell with the pitch. That's a 2-7 right-handed. It's a tweener to second base. Taylor scoops it up and throws him out. And welcome Colin Merritt. Hello, Colin. Here's Shannon now. Buell into the windup. 6-6 right-handed, lifts it to straightaway center. Rojas ranges over and puts it away. Pitcher's duel here. Julio and Javier up with 2 outs and nobody on. Buell into the windup. 4-7, and he lines that into left field for a base hit, and that's the first St. Louis hit of the game. +1, 17 held at 15 for Javier. Del Maxville at the plate. Yeah, they're stubborn. Rolling for the lead. 2 through 5, 11. 7, he does not get it. And here's the next pitch to Maxville. 2-8, grounder to shortstop. Wine charges it, gloves, throws on the run, in time. And that'll wrap up the 5th. No runs, a hit, a man left. We've played 5. It's 1-0 Phillies. Phillies came into the game in 3rd place, 34-28. Cardinals trying to get to the 500 mark, 28-31. Yeah, it was the 69 series that got me into baseball. And of course, now looking back, I wish I'd have gotten into it at a much younger age. Buell will lead off the 6th, right-handed hitter. Jackson's pitch on a 4-6. He lifts it to center field. Easy play for Kurt Flood, and there's 1 down. And hello, Tunnel Care Bear. That's a name I don't recognize. First time in the chat, Tunnel. Or a TCB, as Ernest said. Cookie Rojas 0 for 2 on the day. Jackson staring in to get the sign. That's a 3-10 left-handed. He lifts it to left field. Brock drifts over and makes the catch. 2 down, and here is Grote. Grote 1 for 2. Jackson gets the sign. On a 3-9, routine grounder to short. Maxville scoops it up across to Francona. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jackson. I agree, Unmitigated. I tell you, when I was younger, I had them down, but then starting in the early 90s, I started playing strictly the computer game, the Windows version of the game, and it really makes you lazy. It took me a couple of practice games and quite a while to warm up when I started doing this card and dice on YouTube. Hang on a second here. No, Ben, that's fine. I think that when you're newer to the game, and you're a bright guy, I mean, you've got him down. To relearn it at my age, the short-term memory thing comes into play, right? My short-term memory sucks. And there's Joel Horland from Sonoma. I always like to mention that just because I love that area. Yeah, I used to play in tournaments. That was a lot of fun. That's where I first met Rock, by the way, Richard, was in a tournament in Torrance, California. When I still lived down there. Okay, I'm going to let Jackson hit. I don't want to break up this duel just yet. Jackson, a left-handed hitting pitcher. Buell's pitch on a 4-8, and would you look at that? Jackson ground ball through the right side. and into right field for a leadoff single. Al Jackson says, I don't need no stinking pinch hitter. Here's Brock. Oh, were you using the super advanced fielding unmitigated? Because I'm not, you know. I have my own house rule for the ejection. The 20D has to be a 1 on a hit by pitch. If it's a 2, it's a warning. If it's a 1, we roll the ejection chart, which I also made myself. And I've adjusted it since the old days because I felt we were having too many ejections, although we haven't had one in a long time. Kind of like Hank Aaron hasn't hit a home run in a long time. Brock at the plate. Walked in the first, was gunned down trying to steal by Euchre, and then struck out in the third. Buell working out of the stretch. 3-9 righty, struck him out. That's twice Buell has gotten Brock. One away, and here's Gagliano. Buell out of the stretch. 3-8 righty, high fly ball to center. Rojas drifts over and makes the catch. Jackson still at first with 2 down, and here's Curt Flood. Flood 0 for 2. Buell to the plate, 2-7. Grounder to short, fielded by Wine, who throws him out. And the Cardinals strand one in the 6th. We played 6. 1-0 Phillies. Okay, well that'll knock it loose. All right, 6 innings played. Mookie's in the cheap seat, so I'm going to grab some coffee right now. Well, tell her hello from all of us, Richard. About just after 11 p.m. your time, I think, if I've got that right by now. The 2 things that really drew me to vinyl were the expense and the inconvenience. Heart of the order here for the Phillies. They lead it by a run in a 1-0 pitcher's duel. Jackson facing Johnny Callison. Here's the windup. Here's pitch to Callison on a 1-10. Grounder down to first. Francona has it. Underhands to Jackson, and Callison is out. Is that pronounced Imka or Imke? I know it's hard to correct me when you're typing. Dick Allen's 0 for 2 against the left-hander. Here comes the pitch from Al Jackson. That's going to be a 3-6. High fly ball to left. Double to 11, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Brock cuts it off and holds Allen to a single. So Brock, not the best arm in the world, but he got to the ball quickly, and Allen scurries back to first. Not held at 12 with a -3 battery. And the hitter is Bill White. White's home run, the only run in this game. Jackson rated 8 for starter endurance, so that's not an issue here in the 7th. Jackson from the stretch now. The pitch to Bill White on a 4-12, a high fly ball to right. Backing up is Shannon on the track, makes the catch. So Bill White just got under that one in his bid for his second home run of the game. Loud out to right. And with 2 down, here's Tony Taylor. There's Michael. Oh, I thought, oh, who is this? Knows about 4,000 holes. I like the one on Garland. Is that Revolution? Although, honestly, I don't buy that much vinyl anymore, and the last few I have been online. Is it Revolution? Is that the one on Garland? I used to go to the Groove Merchants, but then I started preferring the Revolution. Go, that's the one. Go Records. Yeah. I remember when it was Groove Merchants. Remember when they were down on Monroe? They were combined with the Vintage store. Then they went their own way. I haven't been in there since it was Bigfoot. What do you think? Is it better or worse? I like Go Records. I even took a buddy there who needed to, he wanted to get a vintage turntable. I went and helped him pick one out. That was a while ago. Runner at first, 2 down. Here's the pitch to Taylor. That's going to be a 6-6 righty. Grounder down to third base. Gagliano, he goes the short way to Javier for the fielder's choice, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We're going to the stretch with the Phillies up 1-0. Well, Ernest, at the places we're talking about, it's mostly used records. Yeah, there's a big market for used records. I pretty much never left vinyl, although I do have quite a few CDs. Oh my. Now they're saying cassettes are coming back. I don't know. Let's check in on the star of our show, Mookie the cat. Look at that tail. I tell you, I went to the hearing place today, and he was sitting up there waiting for me to return. So while he may act aloof, I know he misses me when I'm gone. Hi, Mookie. Got anything to say for yourself? Meow. Meow. Yeah? Meow. Meow. Another gloomy day. Not a bird in sight, huh, Mook? Much to his disappointment. That's right. You get the pencil with any cassette. I used to have the splicing kit and everything. I still have a bunch of tapes, too. I do not have a cassette player, though, so they're not doing me much good. But I've heard that people who buy these, like rich people, and have these, like, you know, $60,000 sound systems, they prefer to have a cassette player put in their vehicle, which is probably a Mercedes, right? Or a Cadillac or a Lincoln. And I guess you can't really say that joke anymore, can you? Well, you can. If not, you can't say it and be politically correct. Anyway, they would rather record their records on a cassette and play that in the car. Did you know that there's a $600,000 turntable? Check it out. I kid you not. It's earthquake proof. Yeah, I'm not buying it either. Cardinals trying to get off the deck here as we return to the game. Go back to the bottom of the 7th. Francona 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the 2nd. Buell in his 2nd endurance inning goes into his windup. 2-6 righty pops him up left side. Wine is there to make the catch. Who's going to blink in this one? One down, here's McCarver. The pitch from Bob Buell is a 3-7 righty. He a high fly ball to right. Callison goes back a few steps and makes the catch. Exactly, Ernest, yes. My sentiments exactly. And a $600,000 toaster. No, that's not the one we're going to be giving to the player of the game today. The pitch to Mike Shannon is a 6-5 right-handed. Grounder to short X. That's going to be a tough chance for Wine, but he's a 222. Into the hole goes Wine. Nice stop. Throws him out. Nice play, Bobby Wine, to wrap up the 7th inning. 6-3-X. 1-2-3 go the Cardinals. And what a game by Bob Buell. Now we're getting to the point where we're going to have to think about pinch hitting for these pitchers. Jackson more than Buell. Buell has the lead. Bottom 3rd for the Phillies. Euchre, Wine, and we'll see about Buell. Buell probably will stay. He's pitching a shutout. Jackson. For Jackson, this could be his last inning. It is his first endurance inning. Hello, Jimmy Jam. Jimmy's here. Wow, we got a lot of guys here today. Holy smoke, 32. Jackson gets the sign. The pitch to Euchre is a 1-7. Ground ball back to Jackson. He throws it over to White. One down. Here's the shortstop, Bobby Wine. Wine 0 for 2 on the day. The windup and the pitch. 3-9 lefty. Grounder down to third base. Dick Grote gloves it. Fires across to White. And with 2 down, nobody on, Buell will bat. Have a great night, Richard. Pleasant dreams, and thanks for joining us. So glad you found the channel, man. The pitcher Buell, a right-handed hitter. That's a 112. Pops him up right side. Taylor will take it. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Jackson. That'll probably be it for Jackson, who's due to bat 3rd. Bottom of the 8th, let's check the Phillies' defense in a 1-run game. See, we're going to move Allen to third base. Tony Gonzalez will come in for Grote and play left field. He is a 2E5 with a 0 arm. 14 runner. And thank you for the super chat, Unmitigated. Greatly appreciated. It is, Jimmy. Yep, I'm doing that on the Windows game. In that replay, I manage the home team in every game and let the computer manage the road team. Which is kind of nice because I can play competitively, and since I'm managing the same number of home games for every team, it's fair. Anyone who's played the computer game knows that the computer manager, while not bad, not really as competitive as playing a real person. Nice to know that my goals are achieved. Thank you again, Unmitigated. Excuse me. Javier leads it off. He's 1 for 2. Buell into the windup. The pitch is a 6-8 right-handed. Grounder down to shortstop. Wine comes in, gloves it, throws to White. And Bobby Wine has been busy today at shortstop. Here's Maxville now. 0 for 1 with a walk. Pitch is a 3-6 righty. Struck him out. God, you almost have to bat, don't you? Trailing by a run, they got to try to catch lightning in a bottle. And that's going to do it for Jackson. They're going to pinch hit with Orlando Cepeda. Give me a moment to check. Joe Horner, the lefty, throwing. Cepeda's numbers with St. Louis. .244, 4 home runs, 20 RBIs. Buell checks the sign. Pitch to Cepeda, 3-5. Base hit into left field. So Cepeda with a pinch hit single. Good speed. 16 held at 14 with a 10-11-12 automatic caught. And that will deter him from attempting the lead and will be up to Brock. Throwing in the Philly bullpen now. Darryl Knowles, the left-hander. Terry Fox from the right side. It's always tough in a game like this to know when to pull the pitcher. And you regulars know I love to stick with my starters as long as I can. But Buell, a 6-inning starter. He could be running out of gas here in the 8th. Yeah, that's my goal, unmitigated. You nailed me. Cepeda takes the lead. Buell will throw over. Cepeda back to the bag. Now the stretch on the pistol. Lee Brock is a 6-8 left-handed fly ball to center, playable for Cookie Rojas, and that's going to end the inning. Pinch hit single from Cepeda. He's stranded at first base, and after 8 complete, it's still Phillies 1, Cardinals nothing as we go to the 9th inning. I want to thank everybody for watching today. Great crowd on hand. And a lively chat once again. Horner will try to keep it a 1-run game. Jackson in his 8 innings only allowed 3 hits and a run. And he's on the hook to be the losing pitcher. He walked just 1. Struck out just 3. Horner on the year. 3-1, 4 saves. Excuse me, that's not right. 1-2, 7 saves. 1.50 ERA. Drama time in the 9th. We haven't heard that one in a while, Franklin. What a game. Phillies would love to get an insurance run here, and they'll have the top of the order, Cookie Rojas, leading it off. Horner gets the sign. On a 1-5, that's going to be a ground ball to second base, fielded by Javier, who throws him out. Tracy Stallard tossing in the St. Louis pen. There's Gonzalez now. Terrible against lefties, but they really need his glove in left field. So he's going to bat. The pitch on a 4-8, swung on and missed, strike 3. That'll leave it up to Callison. Dick Allen looming on deck. Horner gets the sign, the windup, the pitch to Callison, 5-8, grounder, second base X, tough chance for Javier, 2-15, Rangers to his left, on a 13, he makes the play and throws him out. And Dick Allen will not hit in the 9th. 1-2-3 go the Phillies, and they take a 1-0 lead to the bottom of the inning. Left, right. Taylor at second. Bob Buell going for the shutout. 3 outs away from it. Darryl Knowles ready. Terry Fox was ready. He sat down for the time being. What's the biggest town by you, Ben? The last one I played in was, I think, 2002 or 2003 in Seattle. It's a long way to go, though, for a tournament. Phil Gagliano will lead it off. Flood and Francona to follow. Buell gets the sign now from Euchre. Here's the pitch on a 6-4 right-handed grounder shortstop X. That's Bobby Wine. 222. Into the hole goes Wine. The roll is a 12. Error age 6 on a 22. And the throw pulls White off the bag. That's going to be an error on Wine. And the tying run reaches on an error. First error of the game. Looking for a pinch runner. No help. Wait a second. Okay, do they have another third baseman? Alex Johnson's going to come in and run. (16) held at 14. He does have that 7 automatic caught, but he's a 15 runner. Here's Flood. Euchre out to the mound to settle Buell down after the error. Knowles and Fox looking on from the bullpen. Now we're set. Curt Flood 0 for 3 standing in from the right side. Buell from the stretch. Pitches a 3-12 and he hits him. A wild turn of events here in the bottom of the ninth. An error and a hit batter. And now the tying run is in scoring position. The winning run is aboard, and there's nobody out. Great bunting situation, but Francona a terrible bunter. And I'm going to do something I almost never do. Out to the mound comes Mock, and he's going to the pen. Write this day down, gentlemen. I removed the pitcher pitching a shutout. But with the game on the line, Mock is going to go to Daryl Knowles. Partly because Cepeda has already hit. So the Cardinals have no counter at first base. The only other first baseman is Bobby Tolan. who's hitting .088 on the season. Hey, Bill. Bill likes the move. Francona terrible against lefties. He's going to try to bunt as a D. It's a 5D, and that's going to get the job done. He bunts it to Knowles, only play is to first, and it's a sack for Francona. So now the tying run is 90 feet away. The winning run in scoring position, and here's McCarver. Infield will be in. There's one out. Knowles checks the runner. The pitch to McCarver. 5-7. High fly ball to right. That's going to tie the game at least. Double to 4. It is a sac fly to right. Callison makes the catch. Alex Johnson in to score, and this game is tied. Flood can go to third on that as well. 16, 18, minus 4, 14. Tagging up is Flood. He'll move over to third. Two down, here's Shannon. On deck is Javier. And they're going to issue 4 wide ones here to Mike Shannon. Shannon a 14 to steal. He's got the lead if he wants it. He's not being held. With a winning run 90 feet away, Javier is going to swing away. Knowles checks the runners. The pitch. 5-10 right-handed. Ground ball third base X. That is Dick Allen. 3-16. Hold your breath on this one. Here's the play on a 16. Allen has it and throws him out, and we're going to extra innings. So an unearned run crosses the plate. That'll be charged to Buell. And 9 just isn't enough today. So a couple of changes here. We need a third baseman for St. Louis, where Alex Johnson was. That'll be Charlie Smith. Smith, a 318. Buell allowed just 3 hits, 1 run, no earned. He walked 2. He walked 2 and he hit 2. Struck out 2, 3, 4. Let's make sure I got everything in order here. Both teams have their best relievers out there. And this one will be decided by the bullpen. Horner, ready to go to work. Dick Allen to lead it off. Pitching carefully to Allen. Horner runs the count full. Here's the 3-2 pitch on a 6-4. High fly ball to center. That's Flood. Making the roll a formality with a 1-0. And he makes a nice running catch for out number 1. Here's Bill White now. White 1 for 3 with a home run. Horner into the windup. 3-8 left-handed. Base hit to right field. White is aboard. Let's check the running now. Horner with an excellent -4 hold. McCarver -1 arm. So White not held at 12. -5 battery. And the batter is Tony Taylor. Taylor is 0 for 3 today. White takes his lead. The pitch from the stretch. 6-7 right-handed. High fly ball to center. Backing up is Flood. He's there. 2 away. Here's Euchre. Fan favorite. 0 for 3. Horner's pitch. 6-8 right-handed. Fly ball to right field. Shannon drifts over and makes the catch. No runs, a hit, 1 left on. And we're going to the bottom of the 10th. Maxville, the pitcher's spot, and Lou Brock. Knowles in his 2nd inning of work. Here's the windup and the pitch to Maxville. It's a 1-7 left-handed routine grounder to short. Bobby Wine gobbles it up. Throws it to White, 1 down. We're going to have a pinch hitter now for Horner, who works 2 innings. Let's see what they've got left. Not a lot on the bench. The batter will have to be Jerry Buchek, the only really good choice. Buchek hitting .317 on the year. Knowles with the windup and the pitch. It's a 4-9 righty. Grounder to short X. Bobby Wine yet again. 222 into the hole. Here's the play. On an 11, error range, 5 on a 22, and that's an error on Bobby Wine, his 2nd of the ball game. Wait, yes. Buchek's aboard on the error. Pinch running. Somebody mentioned Gibson. Let's pull out the blue sheet here. Gibson's a 15 runner, and Bob Gibson's going to run for Buchek. I love it unmitigated. Here's Brock. Bob Gibson takes the lead from first. Knowles with the pitch on a 4-9, grounder to short X. Wine a chance to redeem himself, 222. Here's the play on a 1. He knocks it down and has no play. It's an infield single by Brock. Oh my goodness. Man, they're fitting Bobby Wine for the goat horns as we speak. First and second now. Here's Charlie Smith for his first at bat of the ball game. Smith hitting .322 on the year, 4 home runs, 16 RBIs. Flood, Francona, McCarver. Knowles gets the sign. The windup. Pitch to Smith on a 3-11. High fly ball to deep left field. Goes back is going back is Gonzalez. And it's gone. Charlie Smith walks it off with a 3-run blast in the bottom of the 10th. 3-11, 2-11. He rolled the 2. Charlie Smith, with just his 5th home run of the season, wins the game, and the crowd goes wild here in St. Louis. Gibson with a run scored. Cardinals end up winning it 4-1. I'll have the totals in a moment. Wow, what a dramatic ending. Good point, Ben. Yeah, the error opened the door, but Charlie Smith, the hero. That pretty much does equal player of the game, doesn't it, Bill? What do you guys think? Any opinions? Horner gets the win. Knowles takes the loss. Horner 2-2 now. Let's check Knowles. Knowles evens at 4-4. One and a third. 1 hit, 3 runs, 2 earned. Walked 1, it was intentional, no strikeouts. 2 innings for Horner, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and a strikeout. Charlie Smith is your Chief Spokane Gary player of the game. The total's on the game. Cardinals win it with 4 runs on only 4 hits. No errors. The Phillies, 1 run, 4 hits, 2 big errors, both by the shortstop, Bobby Wine. Yankee brass looking on, thinking, They could really use Smith next year. Honorable mention to Buell and White for sure. But the day belongs to Charlie Smith. Wow, that was a good one. I'm glad you guys were here to witness this. Tomorrow we're going to have, where's my screen? Tomorrow we're going to finish up June the 18th. It'll be Cleveland at Washington. Sonny Siebert for the Indians, Phil Ortega for the Senators. Usual time. Look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. Have a great evening. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now, guys.